Hello and welcome to Healing Womanhood. I'm here at Redcar Acupuncture with Frank Ramsay, who is a brilliant acupuncturist, and we're just going to learn a little bit more about Frank's therapy practice here. So, what sort of things do you treat when you have clients here?
The most thing I treat is pain.
Mm-hmm.
So most people come with backache or headaches. That's probably the most thing that I do treat here.
Mm. And do you get good results with that?
Yes, very good results.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
And how long have you, so I know you've had the therapy centre only a short time, but you've been practising a good while, haven't you?
Yeah, for about 15 years practicing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. So when did you, where did you train?
I trained at Westminster University and I did a degree there and I graduated 2006. So it actually is coming up 20 years, a bit more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, my son was born in 2006. He's 18 now, so
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's a good long time to be practicing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your practice has evolved over that time?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yes, I definitely feel that I've got more confident as a practitioner, better at needling. So it's much more smoother, the whole process, and the results have improved as well.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's really good to hear. So, what can people expect when they come here for a therapy treatment?
So when people come here, I do an initial consultation. I use this form and we go through, obviously they take the personal details, a GP and that kind of thing. And then we look at the reason that they're coming, the presenting condition, that goes at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into how it came about and, what was the manifestation of it, what's other factors involved. And then we look a bit at the medical history, the medications that you're taking. It's very in-depth, so we try and get as much information in the initial consultation as possible, going through the body and all the different systems of the body and what exactly is going on, also your diet and that lifestyle, that type of thing. So that usually about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then make a plan of which points to use. And then we go next door and I usually use up to maybe 15 to 30 needles.
Okay.
So it's typically a front and a back treatment, but it really depends on what you're coming for. And so I put the needles in, that takes 5-10 minutes, and then you lie there for about 20 minutes with relaxing music while the needles do their work. Then I come back, take them out, and that's the session done.
Brilliant. So when we were talking before the session, the thing that you're going to support me with today is this pain that I've got in my finger.
Yes.
And you were talking about having access to the area. So when you do the needling, would you say it's mostly like almost topical, like on the area that you're treating, or because EFT also uses the meridian system, and I know that we kind of tap on the same points regardless of what we're treating, sort of thing, because of the way the energy flows through the body. Can you say a bit about that and how that manifests in acupuncture?
Yeah, so it is a holistic system of treatment and medicine. So we're using the meridians, that's the channels that run up and down the body. So if you have a problem with your hand, that channel is running internally as well.
Yeah.
So typically we can do points around the hand, but also say the shoulder, anywhere else on that channel to release the flow of energy in that channel, which will help with the condition that you're coming for.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's called local and distal points that we use.
Right, okay.
So the local to the area, but also distal where the channel goes, so it's connected.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's right. So sometimes people get confused when, for example, they have a headache and you've got needles near to where the pain is. I never go exactly where the pain is because I usually go around it, but we're trying to move the pain around from where it is.
Okay.
And then sometimes I will go distal, so like there might be points on the feet.
Yeah.
Because the channels run all the way up and down, as you know, from head to top to toe.
Oh, okay.
So you have to just explain that to people.
Yeah.
As well,
yes,
sometimes.
I suppose it would it would seem unusual to someone that hadn't had that experience or
Yeah.
or had any kind of background with the meridian system.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after the first session, most people are quite relaxed and it's such a therapeutic experience, and they start to grasp that concept that everything is connected from the feet all the way up to the head and the toes, all the way up and down the body. So
yeah, and it seems a very, especially even with the form, it's like a very holistic way of looking at things, isn't it? Taking the whole person into account.
That's right, exactly. All the information take a while to make the diagnosis and what points to use. Yeah.
Brilliant. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Okay, so now we're going to treat your hand.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So I do a lot of knitting, and just recently I've started to get some pain in this first joint here on my right index finger, and it's where the knitting needle's kind of pushing it that way.
I see. Okay. So this is on the large intestine channel, coming here. So I'll be looking to use points on that channel, what we call homeostatic points. So they're the major points. There's one here, just in that area there, between the thumb and the first finger. And then I've got very fine needles that I could use around the area where it's actually painful. So what I'd be doing is I'd be engaging that channel. I do a point there, also a point on your arm here, and I'd balance the prescription by doing both sides, and then I'll do a point on your feet, which connects to those, the distal, the top to the bottom.
Okay.
So, and then I would leave you there for about 20 minutes or so. So we can do that needling now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So where is the actual pain? It's on this sort of?
Yeah, so it's, just on that joint.
So I'll do 4. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll do a very fine one just there.
So what if you have someone that's a bit nervous of needles, like me?
Yeah.
How do you manage that?
I just say we go very slowly, and sometimes get people to do it on the breath, so they breathe in, and then when you breathe out, the needle goes in. And there's nothing to worry about. You're in complete control. So we use sterile needles that are used once and thrown away, so they're pre-packaged sterile needles. And so this is the first needle, and I'm going to get Saffron to take a deep breath in and then release it. So I put the first needle. Okay.
Is that going in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't feel it.
Yeah.
I felt you tap me, but it didn't feel like anything going in, so that's nice.
Yeah, good. So, so this needle is just on the point there, and what I'll often do once it's in is to manipulate it a little bit to see if we get a sensation of the needle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, because most of the needles are close to like nerve junctions, and so that once it's pierced the skin, then a little manipulation to help you to feel it, and that means it's doing the job.
So it doesn't feel, just to explain how it feels, it doesn't feel scratchy. It feels like a bit like a light prod on a bruise.
Yes.
That's how I would describe the sensation of it. So it's not horrible. It's not scary.
No, exactly. They're very fine needles, and it's like sometimes it's a little achy sensation that you feel.
Yes, that's what it is.
Which then wears off, and then you just relax with the needles for about 20 minutes. So I'll carry on putting them in now.
Yeah.
And do the next point along the channel, which is called large intestine 11. It's a bit of a fleshier area, so it's not as sensitive. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then I'm going to do it on the other side, just to balance the prescription. So we always balance things, trying to work on both sides. Just this needle here. That's there. And then because Saffron has a pain on the index finger, I'm going to use a very fine needle just around the site of that area. So just here, just around the site of that area to relieve some of the tension there. Okay, so just relax there. Take that out. A bit stingy. Was it alright? A bit sharp?
It was okay actually. It felt more sharp than the others, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't at all bad.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. I was imagining kind of the sensation of an injection or getting blood taken, and it's nothing like that at all.
No, it isn't. They are quite superficial.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. You know, it should be relaxing really. It's like a therapeutic sensation. It's just like a strong massage really into the joints and into,
yeah. That's a good way of thinking about it.
Just testing on large intestine 11. The needle is in place, and Saffron could feel that, and there's a good reaction there. It shows that the needle is working. A little bit red around the needle site. So we leave these for about 20 minutes with music on, and you just relax while they do their job. Okay, so now we're going to the needle liver 3, which is between the big toe and the second toe, and as part of the prescription it helps to balance what we're treating up and below, top and below. So it also helps to ground the patient, bring all the energy down. It's a very relaxing point. And used in combination with large intestine 4, which is the point here that we did earlier. It's a prescription called the 4 gates, which is good for energy flow through the whole body. So we're going to just needle here, get Saffron to take a breath in, and then let it go. And there's the needle just here. So again, I'll just manipulate it a little bit, see if you can feel that.
Yeah, I can. I felt it going in more that time, and then as you were moving it, I didn't feel it as much.
Okay, so it went straight onto the point as soon as it went in. Yeah, that's really good. So again, it's a nervy kind of tingling sensation you feel just below the skin. And let's just go in here again. Okay.
Yeah, that one was the same.
Same sensation. That's good. So that means we've got the chi, as they say. So we've hit the spot. So now that all the needles are in, Saffron's going to relax for 20 minutes, put some music on, and come back and check in a little while. Right. Just going to come and remove the needles now after 20 minutes. It's the first one. Cotton wool just in case there's a bit of bleeding, but there's none here. Doesn't typically bleed. But sometimes there's a little bit of blood because it's underneath, piercing the skin. Again, nothing there. So just remove those. Just remove this needle. So removing these needles as well, the same thing, just taking them out, checking if there's any blood. There's not usually any, but just in case. Okay, thanks Saffron. So we finished the session.
Thank you. That was really a lot more relaxing than I expected.
Excellent.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, so we only used 6-7 needles there. Is that pretty typical, would you say?
Sometimes I'll do more than that. Obviously this is a demonstration, so I just wanted to show the typical points that I use.
Yeah.
The hands and the feet I use quite a lot for
Yeah.
lots of conditions, headaches or pain in the body generally. But then it just depends what you're coming for. So if you're working on your shoulder, we put points around the shoulder, and then we do treatment on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I usually use up to say between 15 and 30 needles
Okay.
for a session.
Yeah. And how many sessions do people tend to need? Well, does that depend on the condition as well?
It does. Most people come for a course of 5 treatments,
Mm-hmm.
and that will make a dent in whatever they're coming for, and then they'll come again, say maybe on a monthly basis until the condition is gone.
Okay. And do you ever find that, so when you're treating physical things, do you ever find that the emotional, I'm kind of bringing my beliefs in a little bit now. So my feeling is that anytime we have a physical condition, there's emotions underneath it.
Yes.
Do you find that emotions come up as you work?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, everything's connected, so yeah, the emotions always come into it. And
so might people become tearful in a session, or
sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
or do they have potentially sort of realizations about things that they didn't necessarily understand before?
Yeah, oh definitely. Yeah, that all comes out in the, often in the consultation and during the treatment. It really depends what someone's coming for.
Yeah. Because you're unblocking things, aren't you? So
yes,
it's got a wider reaching impact than
just
the physical, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the sensations that somebody experiences during the treatment, you can discuss them after and during the treatment. Typically with acupuncture, it is a kind of a tingling sensation that you feel around the body, like a warm, therapeutic feeling with the needles.
Yeah.
So we try to get the client into that state and then let you to relax for 20 minutes or so. And that's obviously a good treatment.
Yeah.
And if anything comes up, then we can adjust things, or we can talk about it, maybe take a pause, or whatever needs to be done for that individual.
Yeah. Oh, it's so interesting. Thank you very much, Frank.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Shall we have a go of some EFT now?
Yes. Okay,
so now we're going to do a little bit of EFT. So, Frank, what would you like some help with today?
My shoulder. So I get a bit of pain here on the shoulder.
And when did that start?
I've had it for a long time. I think it's a chronic condition.
Okay.
And every so often it flares up.
Okay. So when we're working with pain, we'll often kind of visualise it as if it was a thing in the physical world. So if you were to give that sensation a shape, a colour, if you were to say what it was made out of, how would you describe it?
Like I'm covered in something. Like it's kind of dense, being quite dense.
Okay.
And then within that it gets a little bit sharp, the pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on a scale from 0 to 10 in intensity, where is that pain at right now?
Right now it's okay. It's probably about 2 or something.
Okay.
But last week it was up to about 6, I would say.
Okay. And it flares up from time to time?
Yes.
Okay. So it's trickier to know whether we're getting it right or not, whether we're getting a result when it's not intense at the moment. But we'll see what happens as we tap, because sometimes as we tap, when we tune into the thing, the number can go up a little bit, and then that means that we're on the right track, that you're connecting into something that was already there but that wasn't self-conscious at this moment.
Yes.
So if we begin tapping with what you've given me, I'll go around. You'll know the points, but obviously I'll just let you know which ones we use.
Sure.
And if anything comes up as we're tapping, so any thoughts or memories, if the sensation changes, just let me know. You can stop me at any time, or often if something comes up and we carry on tapping, it'll have gone out of your mind by the end of the round, which is fine because that means that it's cleared. But if you stop me as we're going round, then we can build that into the tapping that we're doing. Sure. So we begin here on the side of the hand, and you can tap with one hand or the other, or you can do them both together. And we use a setup statement. So that's a statement where we state the problem and then an affirmation. So in this case it would be, even though I have this dense pain in my shoulder, And then you would repeat those
Even
words.
though I have this dense pain in my shoulder.
I love and accept all of myself anyway.
I love and accept all of myself anyway.
Even though I have this sensation in my shoulder.
Even though I have this sensation in my shoulder.
I choose to love and accept all of me anyway.
I choose to accept and love all of me anyway.
Even though this pain has a sharpness in it too.
Even though this pain has a sharpness in it too.
I love and accept myself exactly as I am.
I love and accept myself exactly as I am.
And can you just remind me of those? Did you say it was like a coating?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then we'll move around the rest of the points. So that's our setup statement done. We'd say that 3 times, which we've done. And then we go, our next point is here on the eyebrow, the beginning of the eyebrow.
Okay.
So again, one side or the other or both. And we'll use a reminder phrase, which is just this pain in my shoulder.
This pain in my shoulder.
And then we're moving on to the next point, which is the side of the eye. This dull pain.
This dull pain.
And then under the eye, it has a sharpness to it as well.
It has a sharpness to it as well.
And then we're going under the nose. This coating on my shoulder.
This coating on my shoulder.
And then we're going to the chin point. I've had this pain for a long time.
I've had this pain for a long time.
And then the collarbone point, which is this one. And usually in a session I'll put more into explaining where the points are, but because I know
yes.
acupuncturist,
yeah.
I'm kind of just going
yeah,
through.
it's like a lung meridian here. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know a lot more detail on that than I do, so I know that you'll just be interpreting it as we go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So this pain in my shoulder.
This pain in my shoulder.
And then we're going here, which is about 4 inches down from the armpit. Which one's that?
Gallbladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had this pain for a long time.
I've had this pain for a long time.
And then we'll go to the top of the head and just tap round. So I think we're getting a lot of points there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This dull pain in my shoulder.
This dull pain in my shoulder.
And then that's the round done, and we can take a deep breath.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And see if anything's shifted. Generally, in the first round, nothing is shifted because you're concentrating on the points, you're concentrating on the words.
Yes.
And we're not kind of in the flow of it yet.
Yes.
So, do you feel anything shifted, or is it feeling pretty much the same?
I feel more awareness of my body by tapping, I think. And so when I do that, I can feel that little line of tension where the pain comes from. Okay, and that's going up your neck, is it? Yes.
Your head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we can go back into tapping on that. And are there any more kind of descriptive words that you could put to that?
Maybe like a chord, or the feeling of the pain moving up the neck.
Yeah.
From the back up the neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go back into
okay.
check point. So even though I have this cord of pain.
Even though I have this cord of pain.
Running up the back of my neck.
Running up the back of my neck.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And I'm okay.
And I'm okay.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I have this cord of pain.
Even though I have this cord of pain.
Running from my shoulder up the back of my neck.
Running from the shoulder up the back of my neck.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And I'm okay.
I'm okay.
And I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
And I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I can feel this tension.
Even though I can feel this tension.
Running up the back of my neck.
Running up the back of my neck.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And I'm okay.
I'm okay.
And I choose to feel safe anyway.
I choose to feel safe anyway.
And then we're on to the points. This cord of pain.
This cord of pain.
Side of the eye. It's running up the back of my neck.
Is running up the back of my neck.
It's been there for a long time.
It's been there for a long time.
This cord of pain.
This cord of pain.
I feel it as pain in my shoulder.
I feel it as pain in my shoulder.
It feels like a coating.
It feels like a coating.
This pain running up the back of my neck.
This pain running up the back of my neck.
It's been there for a long time.
It's been there for a long time.
Take a deep breath.
just feel a bit more relaxed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And that's a big part of EFT is the relaxation, because in every, as you'll know, in every pain that we have, there's an element of stress and tension, and the tension increases the pain. So as you relax, the pain can ease as well. And obviously there's a lot more to pain than just stress and tension, but that's an element of it. So what can happen as we're tapping around and just focusing on pain, because often when you've got a pain, your instinct is to pull away from it. I don't want to, I resist that, I don't want to feel that. When we're actually focusing on it, putting our attention there, it can sometimes tell us something. So it might be that you're focusing in on that pain and a memory from 15 years ago comes up and you think, well, that's got nothing to do with what we're tapping on, but it does. So anything that pops into your head seemingly randomly is relevant to what we're doing.
Yes, yeah.
So can you describe that pain now? Is it?
I don't feel it so much now.
Okay.
It was there. If I tune in, I can kind of feel where it is, but just doing that made me feel more relaxed and not as aware of it. Yeah.
That's really positive. And the affirmation as well, that I love and accept myself.
Yes.
And that comes back to the resistance again. We go from this position of resisting this pain, which is a part of ourselves, into a real acceptance of that part. And okay, this doesn't feel good, but I'm ready to listen and hear that part. And listening to that part doesn't mean that it's going to get stronger or more painful, or it means that it's heard and then it can relax. So say that you had an office job and you were typing on the computer all day, and as we were tapping on your shoulder pain, that image came into your mind of being hunched over the computer. It might be that the message in that is that it could be something as simple as you need different desk equipment to sit in a better position. It could be that this is not the career for you, so it can go from the very small to the very huge. It could be, something like a shoulder pain can result in life-changing revelations as you tap into it and come into the core of who you are. So we can take EFT as deep as we want to, or we can keep it on a physical sensation. And that includes if you come in with stress or anxiety, we can work on that in the same way. So we can go into, where do you feel the stress in your body? And often it's in the chest or in the tummy or in the shoulders, and we can give that colour or a material that it's made out of, or and things like, and tap in the same way as we have just then, and that can bring relief. And I think often the deeper we go, the more lasting the relief.
So how many sessions would you do for most people when they come, if they have pain or?
So with pain, well, for most things I would tend to start with a block of 6 sessions. With pain, it will probably clear in that time.
And it could be lifestyle changes that come out of that realisation to do so. Yeah,
absolutely. If it's anxiety and stress management, EFT sessions, so a block of 6 sessions, if we're working on anxiety and stress, is enough to learn how EFT works, to do it for yourself, and it becomes a sort of self-empowerment tool that you take with you, which is what I really love about it as a modality, is that you're kind of teaching, you're not, you are being the therapist, and there are things where you want another person there to bounce off and get to the bottom of, but you can take the technique home and
do it yourself.
So I would say 6 sessions for most things. If we're going into deep trauma, it's going to be more. You can, any of us could get into doing inner child work and processing our past and all of the things that we need to, and that can be a lifelong journey and kind of a life choice rather than treating this specific condition.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And that is some of the work that I do with people. So I have clients they won't come weekly, they'll maybe come monthly or every other month, and just will do a bit more of the clearing out of the old stuff. So working on trauma is a very different thing than working on pain.
Yeah.
But the pain can also it can lead there.
Yeah. And you find out what the how it came about. Yeah.
So it can be that I'm tapping with someone on shoulder pain, and they'll have an image of being dragged along behind a parent or something, for example, and we get into this whole not being seen and heard as a child, and and that can go quite deep. But it doesn't. It's entirely up to the client. The client remains in control of that, so it goes as deep as you want it to.
As you feel comfortable talking about. Yeah.
If you want to get into all of your clearing out, there's nothing that's unwelcome. Everything is welcome in an EFT session. And if you just want to deal with your shoulder pain, we can do that too.
Yeah. That's it. So you're covering everything. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Do you want to go any further with your?
I think I'm okay at the moment, to be honest. I think that's really helped me.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and I love the tapping.
Yeah.
Something that I do myself.
Yeah.
But I don't really do like you was doing around the eye and down here. That's really good.
Yeah.
Just feels good.
So those are the points that we would use in most EFT sessions. I don't often go more than those points, and you'll be able to tell me how many meridians that is. I think it's just over half of the meridians.
Yeah.
And that are covered in that sequence, and that is generally enough for most things. If someone's got a lot of resentment, we add in this one.
Okay. For the liver, or?
Yes, liver, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bring in that sometimes if it seems that we need it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also finger points, which I tend not to use in a session, but I'll offer them to people if they've got kind of anxiety around maybe going to the supermarket, and you don't want to be, if you're already anxious in the supermarket, you don't want to be like this, so you can just very subtly do that.
Sort of comforting, soothing. Yeah.
So I think they're on different, that one's on a different side, isn't it? But if you just like that, you don't need to remember which side it's on, and you can just do each of the fingers like that, and you can, as you're doing, just the holding and rubbing and
massaging. Yes.
And then if somebody's had something that started at a high number and it's come down to maybe a 2 or a 3, and then it's not shifting, we add in what's called the 9 gamut procedure. Would you like to give that a try? Okay. So on the 9 gamut procedure, we're tapping here.
Right.
So this is this point here.
Yeah.
About an inch down from this where your 2 fingers join. Struggling to explain that properly. So tapping on this the whole time, we do some eye movements. So eyes down and to the left, keeping your head straight, looking, so like you're looking down to the corner. And then up, and then down and to the right. And then all the way around in a circle, either clockwise or anti-clockwise.
Okay.
And then the other way. And then we count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then we can hum a little tune. So sometimes people use happy birthday there. I don't tend to use happy birthday because I don't know if anyone's got any birthday party trauma. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then eye movement. So down and to the left, up to the top, down and to the right, all the way around in a circle one way, all the way around in a circle the other way, and then that's that. So that's the 9 gamut procedure. So it's not, it used to be used in every tapping round.
Yes.
So you would do the tapping, you would do that, and then you would do another round of tapping, then you would check back in with your number. And it was found that it just wasn't needed a lot of the time, and it adds in adds in an extra layer of weirdness
Yeah.
that some people don't always take to.
Yeah,
But it can just get that little bit of last intensity down.
Yes.
So what we're doing there is we're connecting the hemispheres of the brain with the eye.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're moving, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing quite a lot of work on your brain work to get, and that at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the counting and the singing is the idea behind that is the logical to the creative side of the brain.
Right,
So it's kind of bridging that pathway.
Yeah,
So that can be a helpful thing.
Useful to, yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
Are you feeling okay?
I feel alright. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.